how to build a market square in Minecraft. Now this is a medieval market square, so we'll be showing you how to build some market stalls, a well, and a caravan in this video. Now, by the way, a caravan, what I'm meaning by that is a sort of tent on wheels almost. So we're also going to be showing you how to do the path around it, and I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, so you can see we're going to be building a path here. So what we're doing, as you can see, is we've got a load of dirt path and coarse dirt, which is what we are basically using. So then over here you can see we're building a well. So yeah, what we're doing is we're mixing in some stone bricks with some cobblestone. Now this makes it look nice and not a bit destroyed, but also it's a very nice build palette, I guess. So yes, what we're now trying to work out is how we're going to do the roof. So the roof of the well is quite a hard thing to do, as I found out. But what you're basically wanting to do is make a nice tall roof which isn't too tall that it completely engulfs the whole well, which is what I kept doing. Yeah, there are several designs there if you like how that looks. But what I then realised would look good is if I had slabs around the outside, and that made it a lot better. It's got a nice overhang now, and I can now make it a lot taller. There we go, that actually looks quite nice, and you can see here that we've got an alternating stair pattern. You can see in the corners changes. Now we're doing the chain here, which what we're doing is pretty much just making the chain go down many blocks so that you can't see where it ends. Now also putting some trapdoors on, as this makes it look, well, it gives it a bit more sort of, I guess you could say, character. It bends in places. Now path again, yeah, you want to be a bit random with a path, especially that sort of thing. You might want to do a stone brick path, it depends whether it's a city or not. So yeah, we're now doing a market stand. So yeah, what you want to do is put a 1 block gap between both layers, just make both layers the same. So we've just made a bit of land for it. Yeah, have some alternating colours like that. Bright colours are great for markets. They're just like that, especially orange and white, it looks quite cool. So then you can see we've got some fence. Not too sure about the signs, but there we go. So yeah, we're now putting some fence on the inside to stabilise it, and also putting some barrels, which will store the goods they're selling. So now we're doing another one. This is the diagonal one. So pretty much what you're doing is building the same thing but diagonally, which is quite hard, I found out. So especially when you're doing the wool. So you just gotta wait for that. Look at that. And then we're having light blue. Yeah, so this is a nice pattern. It's sort of, you just have to have the same pattern going over and over again. If you change it slightly, it will stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that 1 block isn't supposed to be there. So now we're doing the inside of it, the same thing as usual, just adding a load of barrels. That's pretty much what you do. Now we're doing 2 stars of lamppost. You can see this one. I don't like this one. I haven't finished it yet, but that's pretty much it. It looks a bit bulky in my opinion, so here's another design if you don't like that design like I do. Maybe not that far out. I think it looks closer when it's next to each other. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That looks a lot nicer. Cobblestone at the bottom. It looks very sturdy. So, yeah. doing a diagonal one, just have it curving around like that. Right, more path, as you can see. We're adding a load more coarse dirt in, and we're building a caravan now. Now, if you don't know what a caravan is, in, for example, medieval times, it would be a sort of basically a trader, someone who comes along in a sort of tent on wheels, you could say, with a load of goods inside. Now that's me trying to do an axle in the middle of that, not remembering that's 2 blocks. So there we go, we're having a trapdoor there. Now, by the way, I did mess up this design a bit, but I've sort of made a whole new design, I think, redoing it. I will show you the actual design I was trying to do after I just tell you my mistakes with this section. It's just because, I mean, yeah, there are some good things about it. I made many mistakes. Look, there we go, that's the first one, spruce. Spruce with dark oak does not work unless spruce is the walls and dark oak is the floor. And at the moment, dark oak is the dominating block, so it really doesn't look very good. Especially when I added the green in. I don't know what I expected, to be fair. Yeah. With caravans you can use any colour, but I think green makes it look very sort of rustic. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it makes it look sort of definitely a bit worn, definitely travelling. It gives a sort of tent vibe, really. Yeah, there are many mistakes I've made. Yeah, this is another point of design. You can have either 1 or 2 of these. 2 of these is if you have 1 oxen. 1 of them is if you have 2 oxen. I know it doesn't make much sense, but there we go. So yeah, another mistake around here was, well, that I haven't put any trapdoors there yet. I should in a few seconds. But there we go, yeah, we have a lantern at the top to light up the way, and that looks really cool in my opinion. But yeah, I've managed to somehow rescue this build just about by basically changing all the spruce into dark oak pretty much. So yeah, there we go, I think that's pretty much done. There we go, I'm putting the trapdoors there. And yeah, that is pretty much a trader, a sort of caravan done. As you can see, we've got a load of barrels and chests. You can also add some beehives, as beehives look a bit like crates. So there we go, we're adding a bit of fence to make it look a bit sturdier. And I think that is pretty much done. Oh yes, and this is the design for the 1 block wide one. So this is what you do, you basically do that, add 2 slabs, and then you add 2 trapdoors, with a trapdoor on each side. And that's pretty much it. You might want to put some trapdoors on the wheels to make it heavy, but one of the main mistakes was that I didn't make the wheels stick out 1 more block on each side. If I had, well, let's say there'd be a lot more space and it would also have looked a lot nicer. So that's what I'll show you right now. Right, okay, so as you can see here, the town square is pretty much finished. Now you may be wondering, this seems like a small amount of stuff. No, we're going to be having a building over here next, which I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for. So yeah, these are pretty good market stalls. Not too much space, but it looks really cool and also just gives the right sort of feel for a medieval village. Now of course we have the well in the centre. Now the great thing about this is you can't is from here you can't see that the train doesn't go down. Even if yeah, I think you might not even be able to get in to this, even though there's a slab there. Just trying to see if I can get in. No, I don't think I can because there's a block there. But anyway, if you were to get on there, the chain looks like it's going down into the dark, as you can't see the end of it, pretty much. So then, lampposts, this is a nice diagonal one. I think this looks pretty cool. Even though it's diagonal, it's sort of, it doesn't really work completely, but it's the best you can do. So, and then you may have seen me struggling with the caravan. Now, yes, I was trying to remember a design I had built in Cantomania, which I'll show you after I've done this. But oh yeah, if you don't know, Cantomania is an adventure map I've been working on with builders for a while. But yeah, we built a caravan in a market, right? It looks way better than this. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I'll just show you after I tell you the mistakes I made. So the main mistakes I did were using spruce in there. I realised that pretty late on, so I had to start deleting that. It's quite good to keep the same colour most of the time, especially with the floor. Now this door I got exactly right from what we had before, but the main point is you have to shift through it. I don't know why, it just looks, it gives the idea when you're going in, there's hardly any space in here, there's only space for some supplies. Anyway, this top here, you may be wondering why it's like a T shape. That is because I've made it so it will have 2 oxen pulling it rather than 1, which would be if you had 2. I know it doesn't make too much sense, but you can sort of imagine 2 oxen being able to be sort of, I guess, have a lead, well not really, but you know, sort of hooks onto there, they put us along. That's not exactly, well they could go here, but anyway, that's just speculation of how this would move. It wouldn't move really if it was in Minecraft, but there we go. So yeah, I think it's time to see what I was trying to build. Okay guys, so this is what I was talking about. This is the caravan. Yeah, I've worked out the things I did differently. So make sure you actually mix in a bit of green concrete powder into your caravan, and maybe even do the wheels a different type of wood. Also make them stick out. That's one thing I didn't do. So this is a better example of a caravan. I may try and improve the other one, but actually I like the other one. I think the other one looks okay. It doesn't look too good, but it sort of gives a nice sort of cozy feel. This is a good way of putting a lantern over the top. So yeah, there are quite a few ways of doing things. This is another way we do. You can do like market. You can do sort of market stalls a bit like this as well, but I'm not going to show you too many other versions you can do stuff because that might be a bit confusing. But yeah, in here you can actually see we've got a load of beehives. You may be wondering why do we have beehives. Reason is it's because they look a bit like crates, especially if you hide the gap at the front. And even if you don't hide the gap at the front, that could easily just be some sort of handle or way in. So there we go. Yeah, there's quite a few cool little things you can do. And also I realised I can't open the chest because it's a barrier block there. But there we go. Yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can do a caravan, so just make sure you do the right way for you, or maybe even don't do a caravan if you don't want one, as they are quite a lot of hard work, especially in survival. Yeah, so that is the tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and I will see you all when I make my next tutorial, where we will be doing the town hall of the town, so I'll be showing you how you can do that, and that is the building which will be linking to the market square. Bye!